Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to Abnormal Voyages. My name is David, and today we find ourselves in one of the most tragic and historic cities in the entire United States. We are in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Of course, everybody knows of the battle that happened here and how important it was for the Civil War. There are countless tales of bravery and heroics that happened, but today I want to focus on one specific story, and that is the story of Jennie Wade. Her final resting place, right here behind me. She is the only civilian that died during the Battle of Gettysburg. They honor her for this feat. Right next to her we have a flagpole with an American flag, and this is a very rare honor. This is one of the only perpetual flags that is allowed. There are rules with the flag, and most times it has to be taken down. But for Jennie Wade, this flag eternally flies. She is one of only two women who have this honor, the other being Betsy Ross, who of course created the first American flag. Now, Jennie's story is very tragic, and we're going to dig a little deeper into it. But the important thing is they say Jennie herself still remains here in Gettysburg. Her ghost reaches out and still makes contact with those who roam Gettysburg to this day. We're going to see if we can be some of those lucky people. Please, come tag along.
We're going to a place that you've never heard of before. It's Abnormal Voyages. You're gonna learn something new. We're gonna open new doors. It's Abnormal Voyages.
Welcome to the Jennie Wade house. Now, this is where we are going to be investigating tonight in hopes to contact Jennie, who may still be hanging around here. As you can see by the statue, she is a very beloved figure around here. Now, I have to point out, though it is called the Jennie Wade house, Jennie never lived here. This was actually owned by her brother-in-law and her sister. This is where they lived, and Jennie and her mother fled here during the fighting to help keep her sister protected. We're going to dive further into that story. We have a special guide who's going to tell us a little bit more about the hauntings of this house.
Now, Jennie and her mother actually live right towards the center of town on Breckenridge Street. And I'm sure you know what will happen here in Gettysburg. It's July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of 1863. There was a population of a mere 2,500 civilians, just like all of us. Within a matter of a few days, 160,000 troops, bringing with them 80,000 horses and mules, are going to descend upon the small population. At the end of what will become the bloodiest battle of the entire Civil War, there will be 51,000 casualties right in this small town. That is missing, wounded, dead. As you're admiring our lovely town and all the beautiful fields, picture them littered with the bodies of 10,000 dead soldiers and an additional 7,000 dead horses and mules. Everyone tends to forget it was July. Even though we are in the north, it gets extremely hot and humid here in Gettysburg. Does not bode well for these bodies. They will be hastily buried, by and large, where they fell. If you think that they were buried at a proper depth of 6 feet, you're not even in the realm. 12 inches was the depth of an average grave. I could tell you many, many stories about the aftermath of this battle, but I don't think you want to be kept up night after night thinking about it. It was worse than any horror movie you could ever see. Reports say you could smell Gettysburg as far as Baltimore and Harrisburg. The stench will be absolutely overwhelming. To this very day, there are at least, and I understand I'm low on this figure, 8 to 1,200 men who are unaccounted for. You're probably wondering why. We have the beautiful National Cemetery. It's right across the street. That was for the Union soldiers. The Confederates will be left in this ground for nearly 10 years until one of the women's organizations in the South will finally raise enough money to run a series of train cars to come and retrieve these bodies. There were many, many waiting at the Richmond Depot for the arrival of this train. They will find less than one train car filled with remains. That is all they were able to find. So yes, that number is probably extremely low. What's going to happen? Beginning the first day of the battle, the Confederates will overtake the town of Gettysburg. They will bring their best sharpshooters with them. Why? Right over this house, by the big building that's on the other side of this lot, that's the high ground. That is East Cemetery Hill, Cemetery Hill, Cemetery Ridge. The Union is already entrenched on this high ground. I believe the Confederates realized the first day of this battle, whoever holds the high ground might just win. They are giving it everything they have to remove the Union from that position. Jennie she in her mother's home, right in the center of town. She's there with her 8-year-old brother Harry and a little 4-year-old boy named Isaac. He is handicapped, cannot walk. He is in their care as his mother works out of town. Her mother Mary is here with Georgia. You see, Georgia will give birth to her first child on the 26th of June. It will be a very, very difficult delivery. The doctor in attendance will say you must stay in bed for 10 days. How are they to know what was going to befall them beginning the first day of July? Mary and George and the baby will be trapped inside this house. Jennie will become very frightened. There are more and more soldiers coming, more gunfire. She decides to get the little boys and make a run for this house for 2 reasons: safety and to help her sister with the baby. Now everyone will be trapped inside this house. They'll come around and say, do one of 2 things to survive this battle. Get into your cellars and do not come out until the firing stops, or evacuate. Catherine McLean and her 6 small children live on the other side, will evacuate. They will try to get themselves and the children into this cellar. It will constantly draw gunfire. I always hate to break people's hearts, but the 1863 inn was not here in 1863. We are sitting in the middle of a wide open field taking all this gunfire. What you see in the brickwork is not a recreation. This house will be hit over 150 times by gunfire. Then, by something much worse. Can anyone guess how many times Jennie and Mary's house, right in the center of town, will receive gunfire?
In the middle, 100.
Very good guess. Anybody else?
75. Oh.
And that is not the only ironic thing in this story. The story itself is absolutely amazing. So let's go take a look inside. Ladies, we have company. Welcome to the Jennie Wade house. This remains almost exactly how it would have looked, with the exception of the fact that we like it to be cool in the summer and warm in the winter. So we've added those modern conveniences. But to this day, there is still no plumbing, believe it or not. Take a look in the mantelpiece. Those are original bullet holes. Also, right there in the windowsill. No, we did not have beds in our parlors. George's husband, John, will bring this bed from the upstairs piece by piece because when he left for battle, Georgia was heavily pregnant. He did not want her to have to walk up and down those stairs.
That was nice of him.
It was. He was. They were gentlemen and chivalry. This is a recreation. This bullet hole. What we know from George's accounts is she's laying in the bed that was right in this very position. Bullets were going through her headboard and footboard. The two little boys that Jennie brings are hiding under this bed, screaming in terror. All of the walls will be riddled with bullet holes. All windows on this side of the house will be shattered. In order to move about this house, you had to crawl as close to the floor as possible to avoid the windows. Take a look over here. That is the only photograph ever taken of Jennie. She is on the far right. She was 18 in that photograph. She's going to be dead right on that kitchen floor at age 20. Her sister Georgia is on the far left. She was 20 in that photograph. A friend of the family named Maria Comfort is in the middle. If you ever see larger images such as this, they're actually renderings or drawings, not actual photographs. Now, in this time period, we slept on things that may be a little foreign to you. Do you have a comfortable mattress like this wherever you're staying? I thought so. And do you have box springs like that? It's a rope bed from the time period. Well, what likes straw? Please do not say horses. We didn't have them in our parlors.
I'd say bugs.
And mice.
Ooh.
So, before you retired for the evening, you had to take large saucers of oil, place them under the bed. Then, we were very ingenious during this time. This is called a rolling pin headboard. You would take this this all over the bed with the hopes that you would knock all those critters into the oil where they would drown and die instead of cuddling up with you for the night. We called this hitting the hay. Now, I'll tell you one more because it's my favorite. It's a wonderful day. A couple has just got married. Thing to do was to find out where they would be spending their honeymoon. You would come in before their arrival, untie all the ropes. You make up the bed, nice and neat. The happy couple comes in, gets into bed, falls directly to the floor. They will spend the rest of the night tying the knot. Another phrase used during this time period. And a lot of fun too. Now, as you are going through our house, please pay particular attention to the mirrors, for you know not who or what you may see. So let's go ahead to the kitchen. Now, as I said, Jenny will spend her time here constantly making dough right at this very dough tray. It is indeed the original. We have 2 original pieces in this house. Her sister Georgia will donate this dough tray when we become a museum in 1901. You are standing in the oldest museum in Gettysburg. Her mother is at that very fireplace. She will be baking the dough into bread and biscuits as Jenny makes it. They were working together. On the second day, something very frightening is going to happen in this house. Jenny is making the dough. Her mother's there. Suddenly, there will be a loud crash. It sounds like something has happened upstairs. This house will shake to its very foundation when a 10-pound parrot shell goes through the roof. Oof. Mary will look over, see her daughter on the floor. She rushes over, realizes that Jenny has fainted dead away from fright. She's going to revive her, say everything is fine. The house is standing. We're all alive. Then comes the third day. Begins like every other day does for Jenny. She's going to read from the scriptures. But this day's readings, they were completely different. They were about death and war. Yes, we hear those things all the time. And sadness. Georgia will yell from her bed, "Mama, make her stop." Jenny will stop. She's going to walk right in and say these very words to her sister. If anyone is to be killed in this house today, I hope it is me, because Georgia, you have that new baby. She's going to walk back around this door, which was put in this position by her mother, thinking it would keep her daughter safe. At approximately 8:30 in the morning, the sharpshooter's bullet will enter through the exterior door. It will come in through the interior door. enter under Jennie's left shoulder blade, pierce her heart. They feel that she is dead before she hits the floor.
Wow.
Her mother hears nothing of this. Remember, it's the third day of battle, the grand finale. The men are screaming. The cannonballs are exploding. It's heaven and earth were crashing together. Finally, her mother looks over, sees her daughter on the floor. She rushes over, thinking she had fainted again. That's when she sees the blood begin to run, and she knows what has happened. We believe that Mary will go into shock. She's very calmly going to go in and say, Georgia, your sister is dead. Georgia becomes completely hysterical. She's had a difficult delivery. She has bullet holes going through her headboard and footboard. Now her beloved sister is killed right behind her. Her screams will bring Union soldiers bursting through that very door. When they come in, they will immediately decide that they must get this family to safety, or this will not be the only death in this house. We're going to take the exact journey that the family will take to find safety and to survive. Later in their memoirs, these men will write that this was a sight that will haunt them for the rest of their days. You're used to seeing soldiers dead in the field, but not a beautiful 20-year-old girl who was only helping these men. Do you know that she would go out under the cover of darkness and aid the wounded? Union or Confederate, it mattered not. A life is a life. And here she is. Well, let's lighten the mood for a moment. Did anyone read this by any? Yes, most people do. Well, when they put that up years ago, what it says, by the way, gentlemen, is that if you are an unmarried lady and you put your ring finger through the bullet hole, you will receive a proposal of marriage within a year. When that went up, I looked at it and said, aha. It says I get all these letters in the gift shop. I don't believe anything unless I see it. I go over, and yes, they get all those letters. And on a personal note, I am the marketing manager for all of our businesses. I get the letters now. They really do send them. However, what makes it even a little disturbing, we've had two couples married right where I'm standing. Ew.
That's a little morbid.
We have one getting married here this October.
Wow.
Nothing screams romance like
a dead Civil War girl.
yes. However, there is a caveat to this rumor, ladies. It says you will receive a proposal of marriage, but it might not be the proposal you were hoping for. You might not even like the gentleman. So proceed with caution. And in my upcoming book, Strange Things That People Ask Their Guide. No, we do not have any letters saying that if you put your ring finger through backwards, you'll get a divorce. Seriously, that and my other personal favorite, where is the battlefield? I always say I'm going to go to Lowe's, get some fencing, sell tickets. In this little area. It is 25 square miles. I don't care where you are, you're probably on the battlefield. Even the town. They ask me that time and time again. That's at least a 3-time-a-week question. I'm just
Put your finger in there.
really?
Don't worry, we'll come back and we'll all
Go
do
ahead.
it just to see what happens.
All right, I'll tell you a great story. This did happen this year. A couple had been here the year before. Well, they had a setup. She comes in not knowing he was behind this door. She was with some friends. She puts her finger through the hole. He puts a ring on it.
Oh.
It was, I'm telling you, it made you want to cry.
Did she freak out for a second though, feeling something?
All right, sometimes we'll be giving tours and people will be walking by that are staying at the hotel or something. They'll stick their finger through the main bullet hole. God, it's a bullet. We love to hear people scream. I didn't tell you that. You gotta cut that part out, right?
Edit.
We would never do such a thing here at the Jennie Wade house. But no, that really happened this year. I mean, how brilliant on his behalf. But yes, we do get the letters, the photos, all of that. So
And people even married right here.
I know, very bizarre, but
According
yes.
to one of our coworkers, his now fiance put her finger in there. She didn't get engaged. She did. He already had an ring for her. She got pregnant.
Oh.
Oh, that's a new one.
That's a proposal of mothership.
Yes. Might want to add that warning to this.
Yeah.
Now I've been doing it for a few years and still nothing, but I'm going to try that hole this season. So if you're ready, we're going to go ahead upstairs.
All right. I can see why being heavily pregnant, you wouldn't want to go up and down.
Watch your heads. Okay, you're now on the McClellan side of the house, Jenny's sister and her husband John's side. Now, from the paranormal side, we're trying to keep this history, but we often see a little boy here. He's one of our most frequent apparitions. He shows up right in that corner by the bed. Never tells anyone who he is. And as you can well imagine, we constantly have paranormal groups, psychics, mediums, so on. Always dressed in the same attire. Appears to be a boy of about 4 or 5. He wears little suspenders, a white shirt, knee breeches, has sandy hair. Scares everyone to death, disappears. His most infamous sighting was during the day. We constantly have tons of school groups, scouting groups as well. Was actually the manager of this house that was bringing Cub Scouts through, the little guys. They're getting ready to come up the steps. Guess who was standing at the top? That was it. You've never seen little legs go so fast to get out that door. They even offered them, said you can come in the other side, you don't have to, They wanted to get right back on the bus and get out.
I don't need that badge that bad. Let's
Exactly. We're gonna skip the Jennie Wade badge. Oh, and here's your fun fact. You're now on 1852 flooring. As you're walking around, you're gonna feel those soft spots. My best guess is we won't have this flooring for a whole lot longer. We've tried, we do a lot of work on it, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but pretty impressive it's held up this long.
Absolutely.
My advice is do not jump up and down up here. I hate when we have groups of like 25. I'm nervous the entire time. Now you may want to take note of this mirror. The glass actually predates the Civil War. That is where we see the lady in black. And I know you're going to say, yeah.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, just like that, right? Here's your fashion lesson, ladies. Do you know how tired I get of people coming up to me when I'm in Civil War clothing and saying, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. Your husband must have been so dear. No, I am not a widow. Just like today, we had our little black dresses too. I heard I was having company tonight, so I wore one of my best dresses. I am not in mourning. I do not have a bonnet. I have jewelry on, all of that. The lady we see in that mirror is a widow. She wears the weeping veil, shows up quite frequently. I don't know if you know anything about Victorian mourning customs. Whenever someone died, they would cover all of the mirrors in black crepe cloth. They believed that when you die, your spirit leaves your body and goes to the light. They did not want the spirits to mistake the shimmering of the mirror with the light and become trapped. So they would cover all mirrors. The belief is, since that custom is no longer observed, they have become portals now. That's why we capture all of these really amazing photos inside the mirrors. Not uncommon to see faces and things. So I highly encourage that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Now back to our story. Remember that 10-pound parrot shell? It's actually going to enter right above this bed. What is a 10-pound parrot shell? I'll actually show you the original when we go downstairs. It is filled with 300 small steel balls.
Wow.
It is meant for destruction. Remember those soldiers said, we have got to find a way to safely get this family out of this portion of the house. What is safety? It's that side. That side has a cellar as well. They're rushing around looking for some way to get the family to that area. They noticed that 10-pound parrot shell had dropped and had blown a hole right in that brick wall. It wasn't large enough for the family to crawl through. They'll take the butts of their guns, knock out enough of the brick to enlarge that hole so that they could crawl through to safety. Get everyone through, they realize someone is missing. It's Mary Wade, Jennie's mother. They're going to go back downstairs. Mary is on the floor with her daughter, cradling her body. She refused to leave her alone on that kitchen floor. Two kind soldiers will come and find a quilt, gently wrap Jennie's body, take her through the opening, down the stairs into the cellar. Then Mary will follow.
That's very nice of them.
Yes, it was. Very touching. So, let us go to the other side. My story is, I'm a historian. I was a complete skeptic. It's until I got talked into touring. Why did I do this? I wanted to talk to folks about the really amazing history of this house and the orphanage. However, if I said, hey guys, at 9 o'clock tonight, how would you like to take a history tour? Your eyes glaze over, you say, no, thank you. If I say, would you like to take a ghost tour? Where do we pay? Ready. So my goal was to give you history without you being bored, or in some cases even realizing you're getting all this really great history. If you weave the paranormal in like a braid, then my job is done. And yes, the paranormal is real. On my second tour, I was no longer a skeptic. The woman walking, I'm down at the statue. Remember, tour number 2. My back's to the house. My guests start yelling at me to turn around. You know, that's not a good sign. I very slowly turn around. I catch her coming out of the first window on the other side. She reappears almost immediately. She's dressed in period clothing like I have on now. And then she disappears. Do you know how hard of a time I had getting those guests to come into this house? And me. I didn't want to come in either. We're all kind of creeping around. And yes, what you felt in there, here usually not so much. That room is very, very heavy. There's a totally different feeling on this side of the house for whatever reason. I hear it time and time again. Another thing I've experienced numerous times, I open the front door, people are overcome by the smell of flowers. They say it smells like a funeral home. Not a live flower in this house. Your investigators, as you know, smell. It's a very common form of a paranormal experience. It's one we smell here.
It does smell a little flowery in here, but I just assumed it was
It's
either
weird.
you or something in the house.
Yeah,
that...
it's, you'll see no flowers, anything.
Wow.
We got our Christmas decorations out. There's no scientific reason. Now, this would have been Mrs. McLean's room. Of course, she was a widow. It's her bed. We do sometimes see her resting on that bed. And that 10-pound parrot shell. If you look in the corner, that shows you the trajectory. It'll actually land under or right in the eaves of the house. Now, obviously it did not explode. Would have taken this house to the ground, probably killed everyone. This is a worrisome part of it. What's going to happen? 1865, the Wade family, all but Mary Wade, will move back to Iowa. That is where they were from originally. There will be new renters in this house. As I told you, it's a duplex. Do you know, it was almost 10 years when one of the brilliant tenants said, you know, I think we better take that live parrot shell out from the eaves. It gets way better. Like I said, the irony of this story. The only family member whose hands were small enough was a little 6-year-old girl named Ida Kitzmuller. Her uncle puts her up on a ladder. She works and works and works to get that shell out to the opening where her uncle can take it the rest of the way. Mercifully, for the second time, it doesn't explode. She's going to write about it in her memoirs. Unbelievable.
At 6, they're just like, hey, grab that.
Yeah, exactly. What are you possibly thinking here? But yes, I will show you the original downstairs. Now, I will tell you another paranormal. You familiar with shadow men?
Yes.
This started last season. Somebody found out that if you take your photograph from approximately this angle, this has to be completely clear through here so there's no margin of error. You shoot, we keep coming up time after time with the Shadow Man. He's all in black, he wears a hat, and he's as tall as this ceiling.
Wow.
Facebook, Ghostly Images of Gettysburg. We have lots of those photos. Work with a professional photographer. Total skeptic. He drags me over here, broad daylight. He said, we are going to figure out what is causing this to show up. It's got to be something on the wall. Something is going on.
Sure, like some lighting, shadow, something.
Right. I'm standing right there in the middle of the opening. He starts taking pictures. He got probably what is the very best capture of the Shadow Man. Broad daylight. As you well know, spirits are around us all the time.
Yeah.
The midnight, 3 a.m., not true. It's usually dusk or dawn that we get the captures. So yeah, take a look. You'll see it. But welcome to try that.
Where was he standing when he took it? Do you?
Oh, he was right here. He's standing about right here. Shoot. He's going to show up right there. Now, this season, we're starting to see a lady. She appears to be in a white dress. We have no idea who she is.
Is she also in those same pictures? Or?
Yes.
Wow.
Sometimes they'll be together. Now, Amy Birdie has a theory. She comes here every year generally. This year she's not. But she has a theory there is a Shadow Man that travels because they see him at a few other houses. We don't know who he is.
It's like the Shadow Man of Gettysburg.
He runs this triangle.
Wow.
Farnsworth Orphanage. They've seen him in Jennie. No idea what he's doing. We don't know who the lady in white is either. That, like I said, that was brand new. Every season, we never know what is going to be next. I always tell my guests, my theory is the spirits probably get very tired, no offense to investigators, of people traipsing around this house up till 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And people coming through here night after night. Because every year, something new starts to happen. I think it's an attempt to scare everyone away. Guess what it really does?
Brings more in.
Brings us more attention. Yes, it is highly active, says the former skeptic. So, we're now going to Billy's room.
Are these the original bricks from the wall?
They are indeed.
Cool.
And I know you're wondering, why does this look like that? Pretty simple. When they opened this as a museum, they thought it would be really neat for you to experience what the Wade family experienced. They had people crawling through on their hands and knees. This will go on until the 80s. Finally, because we are a museum, they charge people to come through. One day a van pulls up with the letters OSHA on the side.
Oh.
Everything in the inspection is great till they get to this.
Yeah.
They said, no, you're either going to brick it up, bring your guests in a different way, or take it down. That's why it looks like that.
Good old OSHA.
You got it. Well, it wasn't really too smart of a move. You know, we have people of all ages that tour this house, so not really too safe. But that's why it's open.
Out of curiosity, do the stairs commonly creak on their own?
Yes, they...
I keep hearing like somebody's coming up the stairs, but nobody has come up yet.
If I had $1 for every time I've heard that, I would be very rich. I'm to the point, I tell my guests, and I'm big at debunking. If it's something I know is, if there's another group in the house, I'm going to tell my folks. We hear people coming up the steps all the time. You'll hear stuff going on downstairs. I know there's nobody here because the only tour of the evening is done. It's been done since 8:30. We're here completely alone.
Wow.
Well, not completely alone.
We are never completely alone anywhere in Gettysburg. So please join me in Billy's room. Does anyone have a K2 on them?
I don't. I have it outside.
I usually have mine. Billy is actually my favorite spirit in the house because he is so mischievous. We don't know why he's here. Now remember, you had tenants here for many, many years. So our best guess is he is not one of the Wades, but he's never told anyone the why he is here. Could have come from the orphanage. We don't know. But for whatever reason, he is always here in this room. And remember, spirits do not have to be trapped somewhere only for tragic reasons. Maybe this was the happiest place this little boy ever knew.
Especially if he came from the orphanage. Maybe if he got to visit or something, this was a safe spot.
Yes, and children did visit here. Sometimes they would escape Rosa, if only for an hour of comfort and a warm meal. Maybe he was one of the children. But he is here, and he is very mischievous. One day, I just for fun was carrying a K2 through the house. It lights up like a Christmas tree in this room.
Wow.
It is craziness. So, you don't know me well. Here I am tearing the bed apart, looking for something electric. There's got to be a reason. There is no reason. My cell phone wasn't near it. It still does it. I usually give it to my guests. They are amazed. What else happens? Touch. He loves to touch people. The spirits are not here to hurt you. They want you to know they are here. It's kind of their way of saying hello. I don't know what we're hearing down there.
Yeah, I heard it too.
I heard it too. Again, very common. Does it still send a chill up my spine? Absolutely. Especially when it's very strange things like we hear on Sachs Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Even the Purdue folks, I had the college students last night, that those are real kids. I just determined that one. No, they were laughing and joking about this ghost tour. That all stopped about 10 minutes into it. It completely stops when we get out at Sachs Bridge. Then everybody's real quiet the rest of the way. So yes. Now, used to be a chain here, like the one you'll see on the other side that likes to move on its own. Well, must be boring to be trapped someplace for eternity, or maybe he's here because he wants to be, especially if you are a very little boy. When the history gods would come in first thing in the morning, they never knew where they were going to see that chain.
Oh, wow.
It would be down the stairs or wrapped around the curtain rod, whatever he felt like doing. They blamed it on the ghost gods. Ghost gods said, we did not do this. This is going to go on for years. It was like the Civil War all over again. Ghost gods come in one night. Guess what is gone? The chain. Took it and disposed of it. The history gods had. For exactly 18 months, history gods never knew what they were going to see in the morning. Billy would take and toss the mattress.
Oh,
he would turn furniture over, move everything around, rip the curtains down, whatever he felt like doing. Then we're told he decided he got over it. He's a very nice young man. Now, when we have our groups in, they know that Billy likes the song Dixie if it is played on a period instrument. Your phones do not seem to work. He particularly adores the harmonica. We have footage. Indentations as if a small boy is jumping up and down on the bed.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just felt something grab my arm.
Absolutely.
That was really weird.
My sister, total skeptic, she has given me grief for a long time about being a ghost tour guide. Finally, I talked her in. It was just last summer to coming on one of my tours. She's standing where you are, and my sister can scream, scared the whole group to death. Something very gently right here.
That's what I just felt, yep.
Just to let her know.
Just like a little...
Yes, she screams right down the steps, sat on the wall and waited for me to finish up the tour. So yes, it happens a lot. Get used to it in here. Oh, do you happen to know what this is?
Chamber pot.
Very good. Of course, during the day you would go out and use the outhouse, but particularly if it was a cold evening, you would use a chamber pot. Did you know it was the job of the youngest member of the family to empty these every morning? You prayed that your parents would have another child. So this one's full. Would any of you like to try and go dump it? No.
Oh, she's the youngest.
Yeah.
That's right, youngest.
You win the prize. Yeah. I never have any takers. I don't know
what?
why.
Yeah, let's.
No, I'm
can we
kidding.
open it?
It's not. You may. This one isn't full.
Okay, well, you never know what Billy might put in there.
Well, that is true. One of these times we're gonna. Yeah, you. So, well, Billy, he will be seeing these folks this evening. He does tend to be very active when you folks are here. So enjoy.
Awesome. Can't wait to come spend some time with you, Billy.
Yes. They'll see you later, dear.
And this is original glass here in the window?
That is. Was the wavy glass. That did survive. And another thing people always ask, is that a coffin lid? No. Does anyone know what that is?
A really big charcuterie board.
It is an ironing board. Doesn't that look delightful? It is extremely heavy, no legs. You have to prop it up on something. Then you would take that as iron. You put it in the fire with tongs. That's how you ironed. Awful. So no, sorry, no coffin lids. I'm going to tell you about these three. These three played together as small children. They were best friends into adulthood. This gentleman's name is Jack Skelly. Of course, you know our Jennie. This is Wesley Culp. If you know anything about the battle, Culp's Hill plays an integral role in all 3 days of the battle. Experience fierce fighting. When the war begins, Jack will fight for the Union. You know what our Jennie is doing? Wesley had become a carriage maker by trade. He's going to move to Virginia. He will decide to fight for the Confederacy. That made him a traitor in his own hometown. You couldn't even mention that poor boy's name here. There's going to be a battle in Winchester, Virginia. The Confederates will win the day. As Wesley's walking along, looking at the wounded and the captured along the side of the road, who do you think he sees? His best friend, Jack. He's been badly wounded. Wesley is able to get him to a field hospital. They exchange a few words. Jack will say, Wes, if you ever make it back to Gettysburg, will you please deliver this message? It's a verbal message. Of course, Wesley will agree. Wesley Culp will make it back to Gettysburg just in time for the battle, where he will be killed near the base of Culp's Hill. Yes, he is one of those Culps. On the third day, same day Jennie dies. Jack will die in Winchester of his wounds. When he returns to Gettysburg, it will be in a coffin. None of them ever knew the fate of the other. Now, if you've ever heard anything about the Jennie Wade story, you heard about the message? Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to go with our foremost historian on this, and the fact that I have read they exchanged hundreds of letters back and forth. Here's the Hallmark version. It says that it was a super secret proposal of marriage from Jack to Jennie. Well, number one, if it was so super secret, how do we all know about it? And why are most of the letters signed, if not all, your friend? Never, honey, sweetie, I can't wait till we're married. None of the above. He will even scold her on some issues. Her mother didn't even know about it. I believe it was a message from Jack to his mother. But I always tell folks, the other version is far more interesting. So you can tell that one if you wish.
Now, I heard that when she died, there was a picture of him in her apron. Is that true?
You're correct. Her apron pocket had 3 items: a little leather purse, keys, and a picture of none other than Jack. So yes, it's quite a mystery, isn't it?
Interesting.
Here's another thought I have from reading the letters. I think that she was very enamored with him. I don't think the feeling was mutual.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a shame, but I believe that to be true. Except we'll never know, we weren't there. I'd like to introduce you to the youngest veteran of the Battle of Gettysburg. His name is Lewis Kenneth McClellan. That is George's baby that was born in this house. He will go to Iowa, become a very successful businessman. He'll come back often to visit his grandmother, because remember, Mary will stay here in Gettysburg. So if you're ready, let's go to the final parlor.
Now, George's husband survived.
Now in this display case, as promised, that is the original 10-pound parrot shell that will hit this house. They tell me that it's no longer alive, but I usually stand back a little bit. On the top, there were 2 letters, original letters between Jack and Jennie. Somehow, it was earlier this season. Someone overrode our security system. You see one is missing. We are still looking for it. In eBay, antique stores, and so on.
Wow.
What a tragedy. It's been here all that time. The middle. In the kitchen area, that flooring is very, very old. However, it had to be replaced. Someone actually had enough foresight to keep 4 of the boards. We were fortunate enough to obtain one of them. Scrawled in pencil, you'll see things like the board where Jennie fell, where she bled out. The dark staining on this side is indeed her blood.
Oh my
We have
gosh.
a letter of provenance telling us, yes, It is.
That's incredible that that's even around still.
Yes, it is. But it serves as a grim reminder of exactly what will happen in this house. Now behind me is our other original piece, donated by the McLean family. This clock sat in that very position on this mantle and witnessed the battle. Note the time, 8:30. Remember when Jennie was killed? No, that one I don't know.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, it happens all the time. I wish I could tell you it didn't. If I hear something that I know it's, something real, I will tell you.
That's so crazy. It's 8:30.
Yes.
Especially since that was on the other side of the house that all that happened. This
Yes.
should have been fine over here.
Exactly. Photographs. Lots of captures in this glass. Doesn't show up where the remaining design is. It shows up where it is not. Get faces, all kinds of really neat things come out of that clock. Now, this is what a parlor should have looked like. In a proper parlor, you would have entertained your guests, had tea, so on. But there was something else that happened in parlors. Do you guys know?
No.
When someone died,
Funerals.
this is where you would lay out the body, sometimes right on your table.
Wow. So this is the viewing area.
It is. Another reason why so many of the older homes are very active. Think of how many people were laid out. But embalming would not be perfected until many, many years later. So they had a problem. Remember, we don't have air conditioning. Yes,
The smell.
the body would begin to have an odor. It was during the Victorian era that somebody said, if we put live flowers around the body, it's going to cut down on the smell. So you can thank the Victorians for all that money you're now spending to send flowers to the funeral.
Oh.
That tradition will start in this time.
Okay.
So if you're ready, let's go down to the cellar.
All right.
Well, civilians all over this town will go to their cellars to survive this battle if they did not evacuate. Except they were not all quite like this cellar. The floors have been lowered 12 inches for your comfort. I've been in cellars all over this town. Even at my really tall height, I have to crawl through them. Jennie Wade birth house is a good example of that. So they will be here in the cellar for a heart-wrenching 18 hours with Jennie's body. If you take a look at that painting, it's entitled What a Mother Saw. That's from Mary's perspective. You see George and the baby. That's Harry, her 8-year-old brother, little Isaac. There were soldiers here to protect them. Yes, the Confederates would come into cellars. There were no reports of anyone being injured. They were merely scavenging for food or things that they may need, some type of supplies. Jennie will be buried on the 4th of July in the back garden. Now, Georgia is indeed one of our dominant spirits here. Why? Guilt. Her sister will come here for safety and to help her with the baby. And then let's add just a little more guilt. Jennie will be buried on George's birthday. Imagine that. She will be reinterred at the German Reformed Cemetery. It was their home parish. But that's not the end of this story. Remember I told you that the Wades will move to Iowa. Georgia will join the Women's Relief Corps. They do a lot of fundraising for worthy causes. They're going to hear of Jennie's story. They will raise enough money to buy Jennie a plot in the beautiful Evergreen Civilian Cemetery here in Gettysburg. Take a look back at that photograph. They will also raise enough for that statue and that headstone. If you think that flag is there for decoration, it is indeed not. Federal government will deem that Jennie died in service to her country. She's one of only 2 women that will be awarded a perpetual flag. Flies 365 days a year, 24/7. Can anyone guess? You do not count who the other woman was. She's another daughter of Pennsylvania. She liked to sew.
Can I give that?
I know who it is. Betsy Ross.
You got it. Jennie and Betsy Ross. Jennie Wade truly was an American patriot. Now in this cellar, we do have our other dominant spirit. His name is James. James was probably the best tailor in the entire state, but he was equally good at petty theft, assault, drunkenness. He's going to spend as much time in the Adams County Jail as he will in his own tailor shop. One day a customer comes in, throws a frock coat onto the counter and says, "James, I need this patched and I'm picking it up tomorrow." Turns and walks out of the shop. James picks up the coat. Out falls a wad of money. $300. This is a whole lot in this time. Well, as you can kind of guess, James is not prone to good decision making. He's going to decide he needs a vacation. He's going to lock up the tailor shop, leave on a trip for Baltimore and Washington, D.C. By the end of the second day, he's going to hear 2 familiar voices, the Adams County Constable and the customer. He'll be brought back to Adams County, tried, and convicted. He's going to be sentenced to 2 years, solitary confinement, in some place you might have heard of, Eastern State Penitentiary.
Oh, wow.
Run by the Quakers during this time, they took solitary to the extreme. The guards would even wrap their boots in cloth, so the inmates didn't even hear that sound. But the guards were hearing sounds coming from James's cell. They'll open the little door where they put the trays through. Look, there's no one there, yet they are hearing constant animated conversations. At the end of his 2-year stay, he'll be released back to Gettysburg, and he will bring his imaginary friend. That's when Mary Wade, his wife, you see James is James Wade, Jennie's father, Mary's husband. She will decide to have him committed to the almshouse here in Gettysburg. The upper portion is for the underprivileged, but the lower portion is for the mentally incapacitated. He will be so insane after his stay at Eastern State, when the battle comes, he won't even realize it's going on. Georgia and Mary will go to tell him of his beloved daughter's death. He won't even realize that that is the case. Well, he didn't realize his daughter died at all until he himself passed over to the other side. He is always here waiting. He's hoping that they will reunite in the afterlife. He's a very patient man. It was 161 years since her death this year. I believe he'll wait forever as long as his house is standing. I hope for his sake that she does come and that they reunite. Not sure. I hope you get a chance to meet him tonight. He's quite disagreeable. He doesn't like company. He knows this is indeed not his daughter's body, but a display. However, it is the last place that her earthly body ever laid, which is why he's here. His rocking chair is one of his favorite places. If you look a little closer, you will notice it doesn't have any rockers. They were taken off many years ago. That rocking chair would always be slightly in motion. The guides would be trying to talk to our guests. You would all be huddled around this rocking chair, taking pictures or videos. So we took them off. He also likes to sit back in that corner. It's been affectionately nicknamed the hot spot. I myself have seen guests be pushed. Happens along that wall as well. Whenever photographs are captured of James, he always looks the same. He is always a black shadow. He wears a wide-brimmed hat. The coats of the time were longer. They were called frock coats. At the beginning of this season, I saw one of the most touching pictures I've ever seen of James. He was bending over his daughter's body. Usually we just see him in various places around the cellar. So when you're investigating this evening, have fun. Oh, and by the way, we do have a little problem here. I'm sure you're all familiar with the word attachment, correct?
Yeah.
Sometimes our spirits take a liking to some of you and like to follow you home. But here's what makes it strange. It's only for 24 hours. If you don't think it would be really great to have a ghostly soldier, orphan, whomever, sitting on your bed watching you sleep all night, tell them to come back and they will do so immediately. With that, enjoy your evening and sweet dreams.
Now, before we begin the investigation, I wanted to introduce our crew that's going in with us. We actually met up with a local ghost group. This is the Shadow Seekers. Hi guys, how are y'all doing tonight?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Would you like to introduce yourself, say your names at least?
I'm Sydney.
I'm Carly.
And I'm Kyle.
Fantastic. And then this over here, this is Chris. And she actually works here at the Jennie Wade house and the orphanage nearby, does tours. So she's kind of our seasoned pro going in there. She says she's only lost a few people on these, so our chances are good. We're gonna be all right. Now, I kind of wanted to explain what gear we're gonna be going in there with, so when we're using it, you're not just like, where did that come from? This is what we've got for tonight. First of all, of course, we have our night vision cameras. This will be besides the camera that we're on now, so the sound may be a little different, but it is still just absolutely from the cameras. So we'll be having those there. We have our tape recorder here, which is going to do different EVPs and things like that. And then, does anybody want to explain the cat balls?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me take them out.
Yeah, go ahead, take one out, turn it on.
Yeah.
I love the colors on these.
I know, right? All right, so these are used to detect motion. They light up all these fun colors if something moves it or steps near it or anything like that, any motion.
So we can take those, we're going to be able to lay them out maybe around somewhere where they supposedly have a lot of movement. And if any of them go off, we know that something's touched it, be that a ghost or the air conditioning, you know, something. And then this here, do you want to hold this so you can show people this fancy? Now they are familiar with this. Let's see, we'll turn this on real quick. And this is the Envoy. We use this over at our Velisca investigation. And we can do it to the different modes, yes, no modes. They can do letters, spell things out. This is all done with either tapping and movements or through EVP, or not EVP, EMP, things like that. Who knows what that was off of, but we've got that. Stop saying no. Okay. Another classic staple. Here you go, sir. You want to explain a spirit box?
So basically what you do with a spirit box is you will, basically like a radio, and you reverse sweep it, and it can also pick up any kind of voices that you potentially hear.
All right, let's see. Let's turn this on real quick. I hate the noises of these. I don't know about you guys.
Gives me a headache.
Yeah.
Yes, so I don't like using these too long, but let's...
Use them for like 5 minutes and go crazy.
So, turns on like this. We get it up nice and loud. And basically, any spirit may be able to use this to speak through the waves, right? Mm-hmm. You guys ever gotten any good responses on things like this?
I have, yeah.
All right, well, I'm
Gotten some
excited.
Crazy. Especially the Estes method.
Here we have something that's kind of like the spirit box, to be honest. This is the Ovilus. Now, I am always going to be skeptical of something like this, but these are so cool that I wanted to use it. This is a very handy device that when you turn it on, it is taking different readings of all the environment, be it temperature, EMP, movement, everything, condensing them together and in some kind of algorithm that only they know, I guess. It turns it into words, and it's supposedly a way that spirits can actually give us words. You'll hear one here, let's see, when it starts up.
Dwindle.
So sacred dwindle, and this is just kind of starting up, and then anything from this once, okay, see, it's already saying stuff, is supposedly the environment. So we will see if anybody wants to talk with that. And then our final things really quickly here, you can model, oh, she doesn't want to touch that. Okay, that's fine. Basic reader, we've used this of course before. This will give us any readings of any electrical impulses in there, any EMPs, so we'll turn that off. And we also have our Polaroid camera. I just thought this was really fun. A great way to maybe capture something in the backgrounds of things. I mean, who doesn't like a good Polaroid picture, right? Hopefully the ghosts feel that way tonight. But I cannot wait to get inside. How about you guys? You all ready?
Yeah, so excited.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, we are now back inside the house. It's just us in here, and we are about to have all the lights turned off to go full dark and start the investigation. What do we have going on over here next to the window? It's
It
picking up
keeps going
something.
to like red. And she said she turned off the whole breaker to the house, so it's not electricity.
Yeah, oh, is that going? Let's see, we can get closer on that. It looks like it's going into the orange and kind of on the red. Wow. So this might be a good time to try to do some EVPs. What do you guys think? Like right here?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, so we're turning the Ovilus on as well as we try to do some recording in here and see if anybody wants to talk to us. So
Finish.
this will go through its regular words to get started, and then...
Above.
Okay.
Fuzzy. Healer.
Fuzzy healer.
Ham.
Pam.
Them.
Them.
Slain.
Slain.
Chills.
Chills. What? So in my limited use of this, it has not ever spoken this quickly, like a lot of stuff there.
And slain was pretty on point.
Yeah, so it was fuzzy healer, them slain chills.
Yeah.
Is there somebody in here that was maybe like a nurse of some kind? Or like the doctor maybe that helped Georgia deliver the baby? Or at the very, somebody slain, did you die here? Is this Jenny? Or maybe someone else who passed here?
It just went up to orange.
When I said if it was
When
Jenny?
you said it was Jenny.
It went up to yellow.
Jenny, are you here in the house? We would absolutely adore talking to you if you were here. We'd love to say hello and just see how you're doing. Chris seems to think that there is more stuff over at the orphanage. We'd love to prove her wrong.
Do you prefer Jenny?
Oh, it moved.
Yeah, it sure did.
Or maybe Jen. They told me nobody goes by Jen, but I feel like Jen's like a very casual nickname. Was your mom ever like, Jen, don't do that?
Nope. Oh, there it goes.
So, all right. So what? Jenny?
Jenny.
Like Jenny? Okay.
Good, yeah.
Like Virginia.
Virginia.
Okay. So, Jenny, if this is you that's here, could you maybe say something to us, or you're more than welcome to get close to that green light. That will make things move. If you wanted to, the closer you get, it'll light up with other colors. Or you could say something into this box here. I'll put this right here. Please feel free to say something about literally anything. You could tell us about being here during the fight, or maybe happier times before that. What was it like living in Gettysburg before the battle came? I keep seeing that flicker a little bit more to the green, but nothing too intense.
Is it actually Georgia that's here?
Cable.
Cable. I don't think this house gets cable.
No.
That's interesting that it said it right when you asked, though, if it was
Yeah.
Georgia. Georgia, can you say something else if you're here? We heard that you feel guilty about what happened to your sister. But if so,
Oh, it just went up higher.
Oh. I don't think she holds it against you. She was here to help you. I think it's safe to say, I mean, even though she passed, she was doing it out of love. Okay, well, whoever's in here, I think we're going to move over to the room next to us, over into the kitchen. Oh, I saw it move. Do you not want us to go into there, or you do want us to? If you don't want us to leave, I need you to get really close to that green light, and we'll stay in here. Otherwise, in just a minute, we're gonna keep going through the house. But you're more than welcome to come with us. Okay. Oh. And I know something's been draining our batteries already. If you need to take any energy out of anything to give us some responses, I give you permission. We have a lot of electrical devices, so you can take what you need. Was that somebody's stomach? Y'all did hear that, right?
Yeah.
It sounded like,
a growl.
or like something like being strangled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A cat or something. Yeah.
Is that somebody in here trying to talk to us, or was that something outside?
It sounded right in the room with us.
It sounded like it was like right over here.
Yeah.
Over by the window behind him.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't remember name.
Blake.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move over to the other room. If you'd like to keep talking to us, you are more than welcome. We're gonna be right over there, okay? Or if you want to make some more noises, we'll come back in here. But we are gonna go ahead and move to the next room. Okay, so now we're here in the kitchen. This is where Jenny actually passed. Soup.
Oh.
This is the kitchen where stuff was made, yes.
Yeah.
Is there an area that would have been soup? Isn't that like, wouldn't it be like the hearth maybe?
Well, everything's right
Yeah,
there.
in the corner, right there.
So would this maybe be Mary? Mary, are you here with us? Perhaps making soup? I am kind of hungry. Maybe that what we heard earlier was somebody's stomach. She's trying to help us out. Mary, we're just here trying to honor you and your daughters. So if you'd like to say something, please feel free. We are 100% listening.
Minnie.
Wound Minnie.
Oh shit.
So there was definitely a wound here, and Minnie maybe like
Mini
daughter,
ball.
like, oh, because it was a small bullet.
It was a round mini ball.
Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is.
That's crazy.
where a mini wound, and you're standing right there where it would have happened.
Yep.
How do you feel?
I'll tell you what, the lower half of my body just chilled when that came through.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the
So-
kid too.
Wound mini.
Up to
So,
yellow.
so is this you, Jenny, that you got wounded here by the mini ball? That we did hear that it shot through these doors into you right here. And I'm sorry that happened to you. You definitely did not deserve it. I know they've said that they think you've passed on, that you're not here, so maybe this isn't Jenny, which we're definitely... Okay, I say that and it starts...
It's going crazy.
So maybe, okay, is this you, Jenny? I don't want to offend you by saying it's not you. Okay. I mean, I'm willing to take that as the possibility that Jenny is here. What do y'all think?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have that, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Do you have that piece of equipment that you said it answers yes or no?
We do, the Envoy. Do you have...
That, I was just gonna say, that might be
Yes,
something.
okay. Let's try
Really
that.
try some-
I'll trade you.
Okay.
You can hold on to this and see if it says anything else. So we will try this out here. Okay, so we have the Envoy on now. I'm going to put everything. We're going to do... Do y'all want to do yes, no, or do y'all want to do emotions?
Let's do yes, no, and try.
Let's
and
do
see
yes, no?
if it's
Okay.
Jenny.
Okay, so everything is set to off, and I will turn everything up to kind of a medium here. And this will be doing motion. Actually, I'm going to turn motion off so she doesn't have to touch it. So we're putting this on the breadboard here, and Jenny, you can actually use this to tell us yes or no on things. We're going to ask you some questions. I guess first of all, is this Jenny? That said yes, but I mean, you might have known what we were going to say. But is this Jenny that we're speaking to? Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Jenny, are you sad about what happened here? All right. Yeah. Yes. You're right. It's a given that it's very sad. So we've been using the black and white cameras as the footage has shown you. We have now had 3 batteries completely die on us. These were fully charged before we got in here, and almost instantly putting them in like that, they're gone. I don't know if this is because we said you can take whatever energy and they chose the batteries, or if it's just an anomaly. Nothing we can prove, so I'm not going to say for sure it's paranormal related, but very interesting. Due to this, I think we might have a little bit left that we might try to use in another part of the house, but for now we are going to resort to just the tried and true light with some of the devices and kind of see how things go. So right now we are at the breadboard. We have been using the Ovilus here, the Envoy here, and we've asked if this is Jenny, and it said yes decisively many times, and only yes, so good chance that this could be her. We're gonna see if we can ask a couple more questions and see where it gets us. But I'm gonna turn off this light now and we'll kind of focus down there, or I'll move it to down there, and we'll see what we can get.
Hope the K2 just went up really high again.
Okay, is that looking okay in the camera? Okay, great. So does anybody have any questions y'all want to try to ask Jenny potentially? Okay, this has nothing to do with what just happened in here, but Blake, can you come around here and look right here, where this crack is? I very decisively just saw a full shadow cross from one side to the other as I was looking in that direction.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if that was something outside, maybe through the window, but I wanted to point that out.
I don't think at that angle it would be the window. The K2's going crazy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going up to yellow.
So maybe that's something that is...
Georgia, is that you?
And it's interesting, I've actually, while we switched cameras, I turned these settings up to higher so that it would be easier to use, and now nothing is happening. It kind of makes me feel like a little more towards it. Just for fun, I'm going to change this mode really quick. This is one of the sillier ones, but I actually like it a lot. We're changing it. This is emotions. This is like emoji faces. So Jenny, you can use this, or Georgia, or Mary. Is that you?
You heard that?
Has there that scratching?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was scratching.
Like several times,
Yeah.
right? And it was, and I saw you look, because I thought it was you.
I was looking at her.
Are you
She
okay?
wasn't moving.
Yeah, I thought like it was like your foot or your hand or something. Were you?
No, she's not moving. I heard it like right in front of
Okay.
her.
Oh, and it's a sad face.
Oh, no.
Oh, angry.
Oh.
It's an angry face.
And it was scratching.
Are you? Yeah.
That might be good.
Come on over here.
I'm sorry. Are you angry that we're here in this house? Out of curiosity, do we still have the tape recorder going?
Yes, we do.
Okay. That'll be interesting to hear if we got something on that later. Yeah, so these faces, very common, you know, sad, happy, surprised. I know this is probably very different than what you're used to in your era. That is, what is that face? Bored.
You're bored with us?
Or no, sorry, I guess it's kind of neutral. Yeah, it's like a flat. If you guys want to come over here and get closer to it, you can see.
Oh, yeah.
So
It looks kind of like annoyed.
So are you just kind of neutral that we're here? I mean, I'm sure you have investigators literally all the time in here. So I can understand if people like this were in my house all the time. I think neutral / annoyed is probably the better of what I could feel. So we're definitely not here to bug you or bother you. If you would like us to move to another room, we can. Or if you would like to speak to us or contact us in any way, we are more than open to it. If you'd like to make any kind of sounds, we have recorders going so we can hear you. We do have the box that can hopefully help you speak with words. We have these emotions here. Or if you just want to get close to this green light and light it up, all of these are ways that we will know you're here. So if you would like to, I'm going to be quiet for 30 seconds. And please, anything you would like.
Something just knocked behind us.
Okay. Whoever's in here speaking with us, we're going to go ahead and probably move upstairs. If you would like to still talk to us. Sad. Okay.
Aww.
I'm sorry, we don't need to leave if you don't want us to. Just let us know if there's anything you would like to talk to us about or tell us. Scared.
Oh.
Are you scared? Angry. Are you scared of something that's in this house? Did something maybe move in here or something keeping you here? Is there something we could do to help get rid of anything that may be bothering you? We would love to help you out. It says scared again.
Are you trying to scare us?
Or maybe it's just that you were so scared in this house when it happened? With all of the...
Plants.
Lady. Foreign. Tool.
That is suddenly going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So what did it say?
Plants, lady, foreign, tool. K2 is going up.
Plants, lady, foreign, tool. Chris, does that sound like anything you've ever heard of anything in this area or part of a story?
I mean, the only thing I can really put to it is the plants, maybe the rose garden where she was buried in the back of the house. Tool could...
Neutral. So maybe that's not it.
I was about to say the tool could be a shovel or something, but yeah, I might...
A baking tool.
The bread box, the machine sitting on?
Yeah.
This went to angry.
Oh.
So no baking.
11.
11?
Idle. hobble,
Okay, is this not
terms,
Hair terms.
Is this not what?
Jenny anymore? Could this be possibly somebody from the orphanage?
Oh.
Is this somebody visiting this house besides Jenny and her family, perhaps?
Is that why they were scared?
I'm
Because
gonna
of
move this
Rosa?
over. You know what? I hate this one, but
as,
we will try this for a minute.
As several.
I'm gonna put this on this table. This is gonna go through
Tried.
letters.
As several tried swim.
Swim because they put them in the barrels.
They put children in the barrels.
At the
Yes.
orphanage.
At the
yeah.
orphanage.
Robert?
They had to swim.
Robert?
Yeah.
Isn't Billy another, like, a nickname for Robert?
I don't know.
Because I know people say Bob and, like,
Maybe. Swim though.
Why?
When I asked if it was from the orphanage.
Several swim. No, several tried swim to
Robert.
and Robert.
I bet it's one of the kids.
moors,
Moors. Around. Ooh.
More is around, like, more children around?
I was about ready. That's where
Yeah,
my
that's what
brain
I'm
just went
getting
to. Maybe it's the children
Because they had
that's
to
here.
swim when she put them in the
Devil?
barrels. Rosa.
I doubt Rosa would come over.
Yeah, I
No,
don't
I'm
think
just
it's
saying
Rosa.
maybe they were calling her the devil.
It said devil.
It said devil.
Yeah,
So more's around devil.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the rest of the kids are at the orphanage around the devil.
Around the devil.
Being her.
Being Rosa.
The letter S. Are you trying to tell us your name? If you'd like to tell us your name, that would be awesome, so we know what to call you.
Can you spell your name for us?
Or even initials, anything. I know this is kind of
Oh,
intimidating.
that just went all the way up to red.
All you have to do is tap this box over here, get close to it, anything. Or you can use that box there to just tell us your name. I know we heard Robert. Are you Robert? Are we talking to Robert right now? If so, we'd love to have you play with us and hang out. We're not going to send you away. S-E. Okay, well, Robert or whoever we may be talking to, we'll give you another maybe 10 seconds of silence, and then we're gonna get moving to upstairs so that we can see what else is going on in this house, okay? But please, if you want to talk to us, we're at your disposal. And I know if you're a little kid, don't be intimidated because we're adults. I promise, we're the good ones. We're here to help you. Okay, let's move on. So there are various mirrors throughout the house, as we heard in our tour, that things show up in them sometimes. So we are going to use the Polaroid camera here. We'll take shots out of a couple of these and we will share them with you at the end and see if we found anything. And I would like to mention that as we stood here, I heard something I think was above us.
Yeah.
And there's nobody else in this house, but there is this hole.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I 100% heard something there, so that's fun. But let's take this picture. I'll give you this. Oh, maybe. Okay, as soon as it's solid, you'll hit that right there.
Okay.
And I guess I'll stand over here so the mirror's in the background.
Okay.
Anybody, Georgia, Sarah, Jenny, anybody that's here who would like to be seen in this mirror perhaps, or with me, we're going to take a picture, and I would love to have you be in it with me.
All right, ready?
And she'll give you a countdown.
Okay. 5, 4.
And now that we're all sufficiently blinded, we'll see how that turns out at the end. Okay, we're now upstairs in the first room. We're going to sit down for a few minutes and see if we can contact anything in here. So the obelisk is still going off with words. It said little.
It said month, us, lack, little.
Okay, do we have the tape recorder going in here?
Yep.
Okay. So I know that there's been like a little boy perhaps in here. If you would like to come out and play, we would love to play with you. We can play some games. Please don't be intimidated or scared by us. We're not going to make you leave. And as we came up, we think we may have seen you and run across. You don't need to hide. It's okay.
So what I was telling her is that when I saw it, it looked like there was a child in the corner peeking, and when it saw us, it kind of like went like that and then was gone.
I definitely just heard
Yeah,
that
did you
tap
hear that?
behind in the corner.
Yeah, in the corner.
I did not hear it.
You
I
didn't
did.
hear that? Yeah.
I definitely heard it.
Maybe that was just you leaning against it, or...
No, because I'm doing it again.
Going forward.
It sounded definitely up, like, right in that corner.
Right,
Is that
like-
where you thought you saw it? Was that corner, or was it this corner?
This corner.
So it may have run to over there to
Well,
be
she was just
behind.
saying there's a little boy that runs back and forth and then peeks out on the back. I'm like moving and like leaning back against it again, and it's not making that noise. Oh,
I just heard it again. Did you hear it that time, Chris?
That time I heard it, yeah.
Does that sound like something you commonly hear in here?
Kind of like a settling sound and
Uh-huh.
creaking with the floorboards. Like I said, these floorboards up here are original, so you're still gonna get some.
Right.
That's-
Definitely the creaking, but the tap sounded more
that sounded
like...
like on the wall or something.
But I don't know. Well,
That sounded like from the corner.
if there's anybody in here, if you made that tapping noise, if you make it again, we will go to the next room. We don't want to bother you. So our batteries have officially run out on the black and white, so we are back to this one. We do have minimal light. I cannot explain the battery thing. This is 4 separate ones that all instantly drained, were gone. Craziness. Hopefully the ones in this one managed to hang in there. But we are still in here with the potential child that you may have seen.
Mm-hmm.
And we've heard a couple of taps, but that could just be the old house settling, to be fair,
It
or
could
the
be.
bed. So if there's anything in here that wants to talk to us, if you'd love to make that tap again, that would be awesome. Or if you'd like us to leave, you can definitely tell us that too. We have this green light here that you can get close to, and that will let us know you're around. Or this lovely box here. If you talk to this box, it will let us know what you're saying. Hopefully. I don't understand it either. Just or perhaps we did hear that there's a lady. Oh, are you okay? Okay. We did hear that there's a lady in here that is sometimes seen in this mirror, and she did say she's in mourning wear, right?
Yeah.
So if there's anybody here mourning their husband or child or any kind of loss, maybe even Mary.
Yeah, could that be Mary?
Maybe Mary
She
mourning
was mourning.
in the house where she lost her
Yeah.
daughter. If there's anyone that would like to talk to us at all, be at any age, we're going to give you a chance to talk to us. And I will bring up, it's very interesting that this is not active in, like, unless it's in certain, like, areas and we're talking to it.
Mm-hmm. The K2 just went up a little bit.
Does anybody have anything they could say in here? I'm kind of a loss in this room.
Do we want to try like a cat ball?
Yeah, we could play with it.
I
Who's
have
got the
them.
cat balls? Yeah. We want to maybe put them out, like, over there, maybe, and just
Yeah.
in this other, like, side of the room.
Should I put like one by the bed because you said that something pops out under the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and then one like over there?
Okay, so what we're doing now, we're going to set up some of the cat balls right in this area where the child sometimes comes out and plays.
Yeah, the floor's very uneven. So.
And they are very colorful, and
There
it
you
is
go,
sliding away. Okay, there we go. If these get touched at all, they will go off and light up. So as we're sitting in here talking, if anything wants to touch them and play with them, they will very quickly alert us and light up all bright. You're going to do it in that room? What was that?
My fucking Apple Watch. My heart. Okay.
All right, so now that Steve Jobs is no longer talking to us from the grave.
That just scared the crap out of me.
And then I would say maybe place one like in this doorway right here.
Okay.
That we oh. And if you want to see, you can kind of see where they're being set up, where we have the lights. So there's going to be one in that room there that we can still see. There's one over here next to the bed where anything could easily touch it. And then we can put one like kind of right here where we're all able to see it if something's in this room. Okay.
I was like, is that one still going?
Now these are very sensitive, so if anything, if it rolls at all, we will get to see it. Alright, and here's the final one being placed down. It is lit up as it's being turned on. I think 3 will be enough for right now.
Yeah.
And we'll save one for a little later. Oh, that one in there just went off.
Oh yeah, it did.
Nobody was in that room.
I'm way too far to step on it.
Yeah, it would have activated when you were closer.
Yeah.
If you want to sit down right there, and we'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, the one like right next to me didn't go off, so.
Yeah, so it definitely wasn't you just shifting around.
No.
Okay, if there is anything that would like to talk to us, you can also play with these toys that we just put out. They light up really bright. It's fun. They're little balls. If you would like to light one up, I will leave it here for you to keep. It'll be your ball. Or if you just want to play with it, and then we'll take it. That's fine too. But I want to give you a chance that if you do want to play with any of these, as we're in here, please feel free. You just got to go up and touch it.
What is happening?
Did that just go? I thought I saw like a light behind you. I guess that wasn't it. Okay. It might have been your phone that's on the ground.
My freaking watch is in airplane mode too, and it keeps like...
What's it saying?
It's like trying to give me random contacts, and it's saying random names. It said Will.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who Will is. It was just like, searching.
Well, you were just talking about Billy.
It literally said searching for Will on my phone. And I was like, I don't know who Will is. And then...
I mean, okay, so new development, possibly Billy knows how to use Apple products, or at least influence them.
It was the search too. It said, or Siri, and it was like, searching for Will.
Now, it could be, I'm throwing this out there, it could be that could pick up a voice that we don't hear, that it heard something say that. So maybe when we check the recording back, we'll hear something there.
Yeah, I'm still recording.
So Billy, if you're here, we would love to play with you. The same thing, if you want to move these balls, you can keep them. I would love to give you these toys, and we will even try to play some music for you if you would like to tell us that you're here. Or, you can talk to this box. Another name that we got downstairs, was it Robert, right?
Robert.
So Robert, Billy, if that's your actual, if your full name is Robert, or there's a Robert here, or somebody knows Robert. And I know that we potentially have Sarah here, maybe from over at the orphanage, a possibility, or any child from the orphanage. If you've been there, if you know anything about it, you could definitely talk to us about that. But otherwise, I think we might leave in just a couple minutes here, but I'm going to give you a good 20 seconds or so of silence. Please feel free to do anything you'd like. You will not get in trouble. We are here to see you. That is why we're here. And we want this to be a safe area for you. So the floor is yours. Please do anything you'd like with the balls, with our talking devices. I know it's all silly stuff. I know it all seems very crazy, but we would very much appreciate it. It'd make us very happy if you wanted to make something happen. Was that your stomach that time?
That was my stomach that time.
Okay. All right. We're going to move, but we're only moving to the room next to us. So anything that would like to come in there with us, you are still more than welcome to. We would still love to talk to you. We're going to move the balls with us as well, but we will set them up over there. So if you'd like to play with them or anything, we can definitely do that. So I think... You know, if you'd like, I'll take your picture like with this here. I know you said no, but we'll know that this one is like maybe janky. Unless we see like the full figure of something, we're gonna be like. Yes. So she was telling us that sometimes this mirror up here that we're gonna take a picture with, it is older mirror. So the waviness and things with light reflecting, it sometimes looks like faces and such that aren't actually there. So we'll take this picture with a little grain of salt, but I think it's worth at least attempting it and seeing what might come out of that. So let's get up a little bit.
Find.
Yeah, go find the cat ball. Oh, that one just went off.
Oh,
Chart.
Sydney, pay attention.
Get in the bottom one first.
Okay.
Hold on, before you get.
Don't pick
hold
up.
on. Stay right there. Let me see. You moved from here. And you were still standing pretty much like right here, right? Because you just stood up. Let me see it go off. And then.
No, you gotta be like.
I
So you have to
literally.
move it.
And I'm heavier than you. I literally had to
I
stomp
have to stomp,
right here.
which she did not do.
And I believe she was about right there
Yeah.
when it went off.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go. I'm going to let you have that.
I'm saying goodbye.
All right. So let's have you stand right here. Oh, I don't want to be in there. There we go. And do me a favor, sir. Can you turn off the flashlight for a minute so we have less light in here?
Oh, it said something from the.
What did it say?
Slide.
Gag, moat, slide.
Creek.
Creek? Moats? Like something? Is there any kind of creek or water or anything around here?
There is.
There's a well.
There's also that stream I was telling you about that's just across the street.
Oh, where the soldiers' bodies came.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about Marsh Creek?
The one right behind Dobbin House. That used to be there. It comes out now behind those garages.
Okay.
Oh, that's more like a little culvert, but yeah.
All right. Let's see. Can you kind of put that light, the green light, like the K2? Just a way that so it doesn't reflect in the mirror. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Anything that would like to make themselves known to us, we're going to take a picture here with this mirror. So say cheese. 1, 2, 3.
Spirit. Head.
Spirit head.
What if we get a spirit head in there?
Punctured aches.
Punctured aches? Like getting shot?
Eggs, like in eggs. Chicken eggs.
Why do the eggs keep coming out?
Garden.
Garden.
Where she was buried.
Console.
Console.
Garden console.
Okay. Oh my god.
Is it your Apple Watch?
No, it's on airplane mode.
Garden console. Okay. Is it?
Okay, so I don't know if Chris knows about this or not.
Yeah.
But there is a residual energy that has been seen in like a loop around
Of the
that
girl
window.
walking. Yes.
An older lady.
Yes. What did
Actually
it say?
looking out the window.
Wrench, scratch.
Disc.
It's going crazy by me.
Maybe it's by you. You
But
are.
yeah, that's the area where that loop is.
You also
Oh.
are a lady wearing black.
I am a lady wearing black.
So that's okay. I don't know what to tell you about that. For now, I'm gonna let you hold those. Just keep this one out so it's still developing. Don't put it in your pocket or anything yet. We will keep this off for the time being, but we will see if anything wants to talk to us in here. But if it's a residual, oh wow. Is this a bar of soap, perhaps?
July.
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 Oh, that's when the battle happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you
Okay,
are
this is
kind of like at their, what
That's
would be their bathroom.
Okay. Well, I just think because I smelled something very clean, and I was like, but that's soap, so that's definitely what's going on there. I'm not
Okay.
gonna worry about that. So, hi, are you mad that I touched the soap?
It's going out to red.
I don't.
What?
What?
Nothing.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
She's getting like a weird feeling.
Are you?
A little bit.
That's okay. Do you want to move over
No,
this
I'm
way?
good. I'm good.
Or just away from like that where she supposedly is?
Oh,
Do you
no,
maybe
I'm
want
fine.
to?
I'm fine.
Okay. You can definitely speak up, or if you need to get some air,
I'm fine.
we can let you go outside. Just feel free to say something, okay? Last thing we want is you passing out in here, because then we have to leave you here.
No.
Okay. Okay, so we do see the meter going off a lot in here. Is there any kind of energy, entity, anything in here that wants to communicate with us? You can get close to this, as you've seen, and this will go up like you're making it do right now. Thank you. Definitely appreciate that. What happens if you move it more this way? Does it stop, or that keeps going until about there, and it's still on the orange?
Yeah, it's still pretty high.
And then move it back this way? So definitely something here.
Oh. Oh.
Okay. It's I've been a ghost the whole time.
I knew it.
Thank y'all for coming. Okay, so we appreciate that. If you would like to talk to us at all, you can use this box, use some words. We do have July here. Did you want to say anything about July? We know that is when the Battle of Gettysburg happened. And I'm going to make sure real quick my phone is on airplane. It is, so there is no way that that's what this is. All right, I'm going to give you about 20 seconds of silence, and then we're going to be moving on into the next room, okay? Okay. We are going to move on. First, we are going to take another picture in here, especially with the supposed shadow man that we are seeing. Now, when they see that in here, do you know about that?
Yeah, I don't.
Do you know if people are typically in it, or is it just a photo of that?
Usually there's people in it. And the pictures I have seen, I hate to say this, I kind of doubt them.
Okay, no, that's fair.
'Cause
That's what. Yeah.
It does look like there's a lot of people reflecting, actual like living people reflecting in there as well.
So maybe if we're taking a photo, get everybody on the other side,
I would.
and just have like one person there, kind of thing. Okay.
I would.
Let's all just
try
go in
that.
the next room and then you stay and take the picture.
Yeah.
I can't take it on my own. Somebody has to take it on.
Oh, I'll
me.
take it.
Okay.
But everybody else go.
Okay.
I've noticed on my tours, I get ones out of there.
Out of that mirror?
Yeah, of a little boy.
Like somebody taking a picture with it, or just of that?
Yeah, usually they stand where they can see their reflection and there's nobody else in the actual reflection. And he shows up like at their sides.
So if I took a picture of somebody like here, possibly?
Of you, like.
Oh, so if I
you
do it
actually
of
take
myself, like a selfie?
No, you take a picture with you're in the mirror.
Yeah.
Just
I'm standing here and
like
take a picture.
Like I'm looking at myself like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can see you.
Sure.
And he's like, for some reason, shows up on either side.
Okay, so we can try that really quickly. If you three you're gonna take the picture.
I'm gonna take a picture.
So if you three want to move into Billy's room over here, and I will let you take.
Is this on?
Oh no,
Okay.
So, and then we will have you stand very still just over here watching the picture taken, so that way we know that it's not you. So here's the thing here. She said they stand about
Like
here.
right here, yeah.
Right? Okay. So I will stand here. Anything that would like to be in this picture, shadow man, bride woman, whatever, you can definitely do that. We're going to take a picture now.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
It's so bright.
I know, right?
Okay, and then there's one more left. So I will hand you that to let it start developing. And if you guys, if you want to go in there, Blake, if you stay still right there, you can take. I'll take the picture in the camera. I mean, in the mirror, and you can see it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to take one picture here with myself in the reflection, and we'll see if anything shows up later on. So looking at myself here. And if there's any little child or anything like that wants to be in this picture, I would love for you to be here. Make sure you smile. Here we go. Okay. And now we're gonna move into Billy's room. Billy, how you doing, buddy? We're so happy to be here to see you and play with you. You're one of the people we came to see for sure. We brought a lot of toys that we can play and help you be entertained. Way cooler than just hanging out here by yourself, right? Obviously, you've seen our cool meter here. The closer you get to that, it lights up different colors. The balls we placed, there's one right over there. There's one up there and one over here. Please feel free to touch those and they will light up like crazy. Lots of different colors. And that is a toy that you can keep if you make one go off, okay? Any one that you want, just touch it. It's yours. Let us know. But we also brought some presents for you. I don't know if you like candy, but we do have a lollipop here, and I will even unwrap it for you. It's cherry flavored. I hope that's okay with you. That's one of my favorites. You guys think thinks he likes cherry?
Probably. I've never met a kid that doesn't like cherry.
Right? So we're giving you this just because you are such a good boy. We hear that a lot of people have fun visiting with you. So you deserve some candy. Thank you for being awesome. Here we go. We're going to put this out right here, and I will place it there. And this is your candy. You can have it. Totally yours. Right there. And if you get close, this thing will light up, and we'll say, it's yours. You can have it. And we also brought a harmonica.
Your favorite.
Yeah, we heard you know what a harmonica is. So I'm not going to lie, I don't know how to play it very well. I have a feeling you are better than me. But we can try and play you some music. All right, so how did the Dixie song go? Does anybody remember?
I just remember being like, it's in the heart of Dixie. Yeah.
I think it's deep in the heart of Texas.
Oh. Whatever, I don't know. It's something.
So, that didn't sound anything like it.
No.
I'm sorry, Billy. I do not know how to play. Does anybody know how to play the harmonica? No?
We're out here in the trenches for you, Billy.
So, Billy, yeah, we're trying, Billy.
We're trying.
I'll just play some random notes. Maybe you'll enjoy this. Let's...
Oh, it's gone higher.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed either. I understand. Okay, so now before we leave, there is one thing we have to do. Everybody else is either spoken for or does not want any proposals, which understandable. So Sydney and I are both willing and ready for love. So we are going to try the legend of putting our ring finger into the hole here. I know they said that, it's usually single females, but in this modern day world, I'm open to a woman proposing to me. So ladies, anyone out there, I'm up for listening. But yeah, we're going to try this, and we will absolutely update you whenever either of us happens to be proposed to. So Sydney, I will give you the honors of going first. Now, are we doing the left hand or the right hand? Is it your married hand or your engaged hand? Because it's a major. Okay, so it's left hand. All right, so officially left hand. So here we go. And how long do you leave it in there?
Just completely in, completely out. There you go.
Okay. Here we go, and left hand, and this is it, right? This finger right here,
Yep,
right? Okay, this bad boy. Here we go. One love match coming up. Here we are, and completely in. Wiggle it around a little bit just to make sure I get the right one. All right, we got the magic finger now. Can't wait to see what happens.
We've got a year now.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, adventurers. I definitely want to give a big thanks to Chris for helping tour us around, and the Shadow Seekers, who may be changing their name to Eggs and Plants. Very, very appropriate. We got that through a lot, so wherever you may find them, one of those two names. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit that like button. Comment below any scary stories you may know or places you'd like us to investigate next. And make sure you subscribe so that you can see all of our future investigations and adventures. My name is David, and this has been Abnormal Voyages. Thanks for tagging along. See you next time.
Thanks for watching Abnormal Voyages. Thanks for watching.